Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wow. She's
I
excited, folks.
I am glad it is Friday. I am very tired, and thanks to Halo and coffee and Clean Simple Eats protein powder. Yes, I just product dropped because they are my favorites. That is what's keeping me alive this morning.
Well,
So,
we're glad you're alive.
me too, homie. Me too. It's an experience.
Morocco Adventures. Happy New Year to you as well. Okay. So, let's get into the topic today, which, we talked about the dining promo on Wednesday. It dropped Thursday. And I know some people are hearing crickets on their client's end.
I feel like it's one of two things. Either you had some trips booked for summer of 2025 and so you were able to go ahead and apply that promo, or you're like not necessarily panicking, but you're kind of concerned because you're like, there's no one here talking about, like, there's no one asking me questions about this. Um and I know, like, I personally did not hear anyone yesterday, but I also know I was not panicked about it in the slightest.
So, really quickly, before we get into it, in the chat, give us a yes or a no. Did you get inquiries, or no, I did not get inquiries? Let us know. I did a poll yesterday, and it was not about the promo, it was just about this next year in general. And I had a lot of responses, and so I thought really quickly, before we get into it, let's go over it so that we all kind of understand where we're at. I think this sheds a lot of light on kind of the industry at this time of the year. So, my question was, how many bookings do you have? Now, I think some people answered that we're not travel agents. That's okay. But so I put 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 5 to 10, and then for some reason I skipped 10 to 15, but 15 to 20. And I will tell you that they are all so very even, almost at 25%, like on the nose for each category. And that should show you that you don't panic. You are not alone, whether you have no bookings or a billion bookings. Like, this is a very wide variety, and everybody can find their own success. Even if you're still on that 0 to 2 range, it is literally January 3rd.
Yeah, and I know Adventures by Bridget said, I think she was saying yep to, like, when I said, like, people were applying it to clients they already had, but she said she had one inquiry about it, and she said a few of her agents had a handful, but nothing like free dining used to be. Um, Sam, I'm interested. Like, I know you just mentioned it's January 3rd. That's kind of my big thing right now is, like, I think a lot of people had Christmas. We're still seeing, at least in my family, we're still seeing we were kind of indoors for COVID for 2 years. And so it's much easier for us to catch bugs because we weren't exposed to things. So, like, we were like, certain members of our family were sick. We're not really transitioned back into, like, what life is actually looking like. And I think a lot of people, with it being January 3rd, may have opened up their January, like, credit card bill statement and had complete sticker shock when they saw what they spent on Christmas. So fathoming the idea of, like, a Disney vacation right now is just not on people's radar
No, it's not.
at
And
all.
we just got through Thanksgiving, and then we ran through Christmas, and then we had New Year's. Like, it people are just chilling, and their kids are still at home
Well,
running
and
amok.
one thing, like, for me personally that I want to bring up is anytime there's a mass violence incident like the situation in Louisiana, I'm very, very protective of my online space because with my history with mass trauma, like, I have to be very careful so that I don't spiral. And I think that's, like, something really to keep in mind is, like, if parents have been impacted by sending their kids to school when there's a school shooting, especially for like our families that are in Louisiana. One, like, we're thinking of you. We're like praying for you. You're in our thoughts and prayers. And I don't say that with a, like just flippantly. That is not flippant for me at all. You have been in my like thoughts. I've been thinking about you. But keep in mind that people might be staying off the internet for the next few days. Their family is probably still leaving town, but they also might just be staying off the internet because they don't have the mental capacity right now for everything that's going on in the news. And that is totally fine. And we should like encourage people to do that if that's what's best for their mental and emotional health.
Very true.
Sorry, that went really deep, really quick. But like, I know, like, if we think about other Disney promos and other Disney things, when the election was happening, people aren't going to be online. Like, there are all these things that contribute to people being online and even seeing your content. So, overall, it might not be a you problem. It's just that people aren't online.
That's true. And this promo lasts, the last day to book it is February 10th, but let's be honest, the availability, don't know if it's going to last because I literally went on there at like 7 a.m. yesterday and there was nothing available at many resorts already. But don't fret because there are other offers that are already available that are possibly even better for your clients. Not everybody wants to take advantage of the dining plan.
And not only that, I am interested to see. I know when I'm working with first time families, the idea of a hopper ticket is for them like an absolute hard pass. Because I think when you upgrade to a hopper ticket, you feel that you have to hop. And so if you aren't someone that wants to hop, it really honestly might not be the best promo for you. And that's okay. It really is. So think about that. And think about like Sam said, people might not want to take advantage of a dining plan. That might just be more challenging for them. Bridget said hopping is a lot of pressure for first timers. I agree. I know sometimes even when we go with family and we do get hopper tickets, it can feel like if we don't hop every day, then we are wasting it.
Yeah, because it's so much extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally agree. But let's talk about different reasons too. Let's talk about maybe what if your audience isn't primed to take advantage of these offers? And what I mean by that is, are we nurturing our audience to even know what a dining plan is or how to use it? Because if you give them, oh, free dining plan, and they're like, well, I don't know what that is, I don't know the value of it. Are we teaching them that? Because it's important, in my opinion, that we have our own education for our clients and potential clients because information, that's the word I was looking for, on the internet, especially about Disney World, can be very, very confusing because everything changes. And if they're looking up YouTube videos that were made 2 years ago, then information can be completely different. So this is a really good time to give yourself a little bit of an audit in your social media. And are you nurturing your clients or your potential clients? Are you educating them on a regular basis to understand the value of different parts of a Disney vacation?
And I think with that, Sam, like, dining plan is a lot to unpack in a social post. And I think this is where, the chat about long form content really comes into play. Just so like I'm very into keyword research. I found it to be a super helpful tool in helping me figure out what I'm going to talk about and what people are asking about. And so with that, like, they are like the keyword research tools that I'm using to figure that out are saying that the average conversation about a Disney dining plan on the internet is about 2,200 words. Obviously, that's more than a social post. So, how are you nurturing your audience and your potential clients and your clients, not just on socials, but also email marketing, Like, do you have a sequence where if somebody says, and by sequence, I mean a series of emails that when somebody says that they are interested in a Disney vacation or they, use one of your lead magnets, they get a very detailed breakdown from you in a series of emails that tells them what all that entails and includes, and also shares like, here are the pitfalls, here are the pros, here are the cons. Like, let people figure out if it's best for them for themselves. We talked last time we talked about making it personal. Disney is a very personal vacation. And part of that is the dining plan even the best thing for you or not really? And letting people kind of self-select in and out of that, and using things like an email marketing list that you are sending emails to potential clients, and also in either a blog post or a YouTube or a podcast format to really share that information as well.
I totally agree. And yes. So in a social post, you only have a few seconds to have your audience's attention. And I feel like a lot of times you can better let people get to know you through your long form content, through your YouTube videos, through your blogs. Because when I'm writing a blog, it's almost like I'm writing like a message, like a DM or something to my friend. Like, I'm using like very casual language that I would use in a conversation. Like yesterday I was writing my blog and I wrote, do this worksheet and holler back at me, because that's what I would say. And it's creating a personal connection so that when people talk to me in real life after they read my blog, they're like, oh yeah, she really is like that. And even a YouTube video, well, obviously YouTube video, you're speaking to a camera, and it doesn't have to be crazy. I sat over there on my couch yesterday and just made a quick video of me talking about the dining plan. I didn't go all the way through the dining plan because that would be an insane amount of talking in a short YouTube video, but the overview, what you get, why it's convenient, why you wouldn't use it, and I went on this rant about getting peanut butter everywhere and how you could save yourself from that with the dining plan. I was talking about making sandwiches and traveling with children.
Yeah. There's so many people that I think the dining plan is great for. There are also people that I'm like, honestly, like, it's not going to be the best for you. So, I think your blogs, like, I know you showed me your blog right before this call. I think you tend to do like a little shorter blogs. Mine are hefty, but that's also like how I operate. Like, if people want a deluge of information, that's what I'm going to provide them with. But I also make it easy for you to find exactly what you're looking for in my blog. So, I have a very informational style for my blog. Share a ton of information, but I also include like personalized recommendations. That's a great thing you can do in your blog, is share the insights of like, here's a meal that I find is a great value on a dining plan. I know I'm obsessed with Candlelight Processional. We did that for the holidays. That meal would have been $105 a person if we had not used the dining plan. It was one table service credit. So like sharing those, like, hey, this is a super good value. Because if that's valued at like, if a table service credit is valued at like $60 for every person that we use that for, it was $45 worth of savings. So just like figuring out how to share your insights into what's a good value is another thing that can be super helpful.
I agree. And also, you were talking about email marketing. That was a lovely plug, because on Monday, our actual first podcast, we've been putting these lives on our podcast, but our first actual pre-recorded podcast will go out on, did I say Monday? I meant Tuesday. Yes. On Tuesday, and we are diving into email marketing. So make sure that you are subscribed over on the podcast to get that.
Hey, Sam, what's the podcast name? If people are new to us, what's the podcast name? They might.
Great question. It is called Before You Plan the Magic.
And can I say, I'm assuming I can say that we will have that linked in our stories on Tuesday, so you can go find that.
We will have it linked on the stories, and I'll add this live later, and it will also be in our stories then. So there'll be plenty of ways for you to find it. Well, I hope this Friday is fantastic for everybody, and I'm
Bridget,
excited.
we can't wait to get your feedback when you listen on Tuesday. Let us know what you think.
But be nice, because we're fragile.
Not really. We're very strong women. Very strong, empowered women. Well, I am.
On the outside.
But
on the outside.
Yeah. Inwardly, we sob uncontrollably at times.
Oh my gosh.
That's all that matters.
Okay, well, if you're just now hopping on, we are hopping off. So this will be available in just a few minutes. I'll re-upload it so that you can give it a listen, or it will be on the YouTube or the podcast in just a little bit. But either way, we hope you have a fabulous weekend and that you take some time to give yourself a little social media audit so that our audiences are primed to buy.
Have a great day, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You have a good day too, Bridget. Bye-bye.